Today's video is the first one of my astrology series, The Magic of the Signs. As a Scorpio, I've decided to begin with my own sign. If you're a Scorpio too, watch to find out how you can tap into the magic of your sign. If you're in a relationship with a Scorpio, watch to find out what to look out for and how to make the best of it. Hi, I'm Lisa Miranda. Welcome to my channel where you can learn about all things Wicca, also known as the craft, the old ways, witchcraft, or the art magical. Now, one of the most important parts of the craft is astrology, which has been defined as the study of celestial bodies and their influence on people in the natural world, but I prefer to think of astrology as a powerful magical tool. It helps us to understand ourselves and other people. All witches use astrology in various ways, whether it's to power our spells by timing things for an astrologically auspicious time, divining the future, or protecting ourselves and our loved ones. Scorpio is the sign of transformation, so one of the things at which we excel is transforming things, whether it's our weaknesses into strengths or a career that we're stuck in and we want to transform into something completely different. The phrase that's associated with Scorpio is I desire. The tarot card is judgment. So all these things are helpful when you're studying about how to tap into the power of your sign. Some of the best careers for Scorpios are anything that involves extensive research, detective work, a horror story or a mystery story writer. We're also very good in the fields of medicine. One of the things that Scorpio rules is death. And that sounds kind of scary, but it's really not. I mean, death is, after all, the ultimate form of transformation. So you'll find a lot of Scorpios in the field of death, whether it's comforting the bereaved, therapists that help people with their grief. We're also very good pathologists and forensic anthropologists. Scorpios are attuned to different animals, as every sign is, and there are three main ones for Scorpio, spirit animals as we call it in Wicca, and that would be the scorpion, the eagle, and the phoenix. Now, the Scorpios among us who haven't yet learned to transcend the mundane and pettiness of being obsessed with revenge, they tend to be more attuned to scorpion, because the scorpion, after all, is an animal that stings people and stings those that have wronged them. We, and I include myself in this statement, who have learned to go beyond that, to rise above it, we are more in tune with the eagle and also the phoenix when we rise above the ashes of something that's been destructive to us. So learning about these three animals is very helpful. It's also why you'll find Scorpios in aviation. A lot of Scorpios make very good pilots and also pararescue, because they have this thing about rescuing people who are in trouble and helping them see how not to get in trouble again. Now, if you're in a relationship with a Scorpio, there are things to look out for, as I said earlier, and a lot of it depends on your element, the sign that you are, because there are 4 elements in astrology: water signs, Scorpio, and air signs. And there's also fire and earth signs. So you have to look at how the elements blend together to see how you get along with a Scorpio. So as far as relationships go, it's a myth that Scorpios can't get along with certain other signs. There are some that are more challenging, but that's okay, because Scorpios enjoy a challenge, and they enjoy, as I said, transforming weaknesses into strengths. So as a water sign, Scorpios tend to get along very well and very easily with other water signs, that's Cancer and Pisces, because they tend to see things from the same point of view and they tend to have a lot in common. The problem with that kind of relationship is it can get very boring because everything is the same. It can work, a lot depends on the rising sign and the moon signs of the people involved, but we're just talking about the sun sign in this series because that's enough to deal with right now. If you're interested in finding out where signs are in the rest of your chart, there's places you can go to online to find out. Cafe Astrology is a good site. Now, as far as the other signs, in terms of getting along with Scorpio, the earth signs are a really good combo because if you look at the elements, water more than anything needs a home. If water doesn't have something to hold on to or to help channel it, it just peters out, it splatters everywhere, it trickles away. So earth provides security and stability. It holds on to water, or it can help channel it in the right direction. So the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They get along very well with Scorpios for the most part because, as I said, they provide them a home and also can help channel them in a good, fortuitous direction. But it can also create mud if there's too much togetherness, in other words. It's a symbolic way of looking at the way people interact. So even though water provides nourishment to the earth, which is what the earth signs need, they need nourishment to help things grow and help their dreams come true. If there's too much of it, it can muddy the waters, and that can make the relationship just becomes stagnant. So that's something to watch out for when you have the water signs and the earth signs combining. One of the most challenging combinations in astrology happens to be water and air. Now, the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Above all else, what air signs need is freedom. And what water signs need is a home. So you can already see right there the problem with these two signs getting together. However, the differences are often what make the relationship strong and what make them work. Because they're so different, they're fascinated with each other. You also have to look at the elements with water and air. Air stimulates water. It makes ripples, or it can lash it into waves, which is very exciting for water, and water likes that. But too much of it can be very annoying, very irritating, rather than stimulating. So advice to air signs that are trying to get along with water signs is to watch what you say, watch your words, because your words can be stimulating, but they can also be irritating and hurtful. They can be harmful eventually. And as far as what water does to air signs, look at the way water behaves with the element of air. It saturates it. It can make it refreshing and bring rain, which air signs find wonderful because air signs tend to get bored very easily and they find association with water signs refreshing. But too much of it can obscure situations. You think of fog or mist, and it's difficult to see anything or to get anything accomplished through all that fog and mist. So air signs just recognize that that's the way water signs are. We're very private in general. We don't like to talk about everything like you do. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're looking at that combination. Now, with water and fire, you would think that those signs would not get along. If you look at the two elements, fire signs being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And then again, the water signs being Scorpio and Cancer and Pisces. But there's a lot of mutual respect going on when you have that combination because each intuitively senses that one can destroy the other. Water puts out fire, and fire can dehydrate water to the point where it boils and then evaporates. But when you look at the good aspects of it, again, transforming the weaknesses into strengths, water needs fire to warm it up. Water signs, we tend to be cold a lot of the time, and I don't just mean that metaphorically. We need the heat to ignite our passions and make our dreams come true, which often happens in that kind of combination with water and fire signs. The fire stimulates us, heats us up, and I'm not just talking about sexually, but in every other way. It helps our dreams come true and inspires us. Inspiring other people is one of the main things that fire signs like to do. That's one of their missions. They really need a purpose. Water needs a home, fire needs a purpose, and inspiring other people is a great purpose. I'd like to close this video with a spell. A Scorpio spell for changing your luck by the waning moon. Before we cast it, it's important to check the current phase of the moon. Right now it happens to be waning, so this is a goodly time to cast it. We're also going to invoke the element of water, Scorpio being a water sign, also still water. which is important because that's Scorpio. And you can do that by either using the tool of Scorpio, which is a cauldron. I have my little mini cauldron here, but if you don't have one of those, you can also just use a hand gesture to invoke the element of water, which looks like this, like you're cupping water. So we're going to do that as we cast. Before we cast, besides checking the phase of the moon, remember to take a deep breath, let it out, and clear your mind of anything else. Moon of finest silver wane, take with you bad luck and bane. As you fade into the night, bring new hope into my sight. Blessed be. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends. Bright blessings.